Hey, what's going on, everyone? Well, whoever joins me, let's keep our fingers crossed for a good technology night. So, I am quote unquote punching the clock. Shout out to the master teacher. So, this one is going to be brief. It's not going to be a 2 to 3 hour stream. I'm going to try to get on and off in about 45 minutes to an hour. My computer decided to reboot when I got home from work, and then I said, okay, well, let me do this tomorrow, or let me do this on Wednesday. But no, let's do it tonight. Let's get it out of the way. Let's yeah. I sometimes the spirit is in you, and you just wanna go. And my high school basketball coach, in one of his workshops, he asked a player, "Why do you play defense?" And he said, "Because you love it. Because you love it." And I enjoy live streaming and entertaining for you all. So, hey, let me know who's there. Please smash the like button. I appreciate whoever smashed that like button before I started the stream. That lets me know someone was looking for this. This is going to be a bit of review. This probably passed out of the social media cycle maybe last week, maybe the week before, but I thought that this would be a good final March 2025 stream. This one, it touched me, the inspiration for this stream, and I thought that I would end out March 2025 by saying some words about this, because I am a newly self-published author, and I like to read books, sometimes on vacation. And this particular thing shared by Dr. Tiasan Johnson, by the way, Dr. Johnson agreed to come back in about 2 weeks. So look for me and Dr. Tiasan Johnson to click up again and talk about his latest essay and the latest in Black masculinism. Okay. But tonight we're going to talk about reading, writing, scholarship, and what is wrong with author energy. Let me make sure I can see myself on YouTube. Hey, whoever's there, if you want to say who you are there in the chat, if you saw this particular clip and you were moved by it as well, let me know what you think there in the chat. Come on, Chrome. Come on. Okay, there we go. Money Motion, if you're out there, let me know. I wrote down your email address yesterday on my science stream, but I apparently wrote down the wrong email address. Ant Dog, if you're out there, yes, my books are on sale. Whoever's there, let me know who's there. Shout yourselves out. Let me know if you have thoughts on this. Thank you for the likes. As soon as this ad finishes, I will get to it, because I don't want to be on for too long tonight. All right, come on, Adidas commercial. All right. See, I don't have the ad-free YouTube, so I have to suffer through all of these ads. But hey, the ads are in part how I get paid as a content creator. So I just want to, where's the skip button? Where's the skip button? Okay, there's me. All right, so I'm going to play the intro, and then I'll see you on the other side. I'm going to present what I intended to present. And if enough people come through and leave comments in the chat, I'll read the comments. And yeah, we'll make this an interactive thing. So I'll see you on the other side, and on the other end, we'll talk about authorship energy, scholarship reading, and what's wrong with those particular things. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Media assets, and there's my intro right there. All right. So, where did this topic come from? So I'm going to admit that because of where I come from, see, in this world, we're all living in different worlds, and not everybody is privy to the same information.
That we will rush to finish things that are important so we can do things that are not. And I believe it's an immaturity there. People just don't understand that, life isn't about having fun all the time. You have to have fun sometimes. I agree. But as an adult, there's time where you have to just say, okay, listen, I got to get down to work right now. And I don't think enough of us value that time or really understand the fruits of that labor. Somehow we think things are just going to be without that kind of effort. And culturally, there's a deficiency there. That's why I always say that there's no political solution for cultural deficiencies.
So, where did this topic come from? So, I'm going to admit that because of where I come from, see, in this world, we're all living in different worlds, and not everybody is privy to the same information. All right, so that snippet that you heard in the intro, that was a snippet from my interview with Curtis Schoon of Schoon TV. Okay, for those of you who are unfamiliar with Curtis, I just hosted him for the first time here for Black History Month 2025, and I hope to have Curtis come back. This is some of his merch, and it says, "The truth may be offensive, but it is never a sin." And in that particular snippet, he said a couple things. He said a lot of our people, he noticed that the people that he hired, because he's a businessman, he said they don't spend enough time on the things they should to get to the things that aren't as important. And he said a lot of people want to have fun all the time, and that life is not about having fun all of the time. And then he stated at the end there that politics, when you say politics, I have a short memory, will not make up for cultural deficiencies. So there are no political solutions for cultural deficiencies. So speaking of cultural deficiencies, I'm going to start with the inspiration for this stream right now. I'm going to pull out the red meat for you guys right now. I guess no one wants to shout themselves out and say who's here. That's okay. You guys can talk if you see fit as this thing goes. But the inspiration for this was the Balloon Pop show. I don't watch that show. I don't look for it, but clips have a way of creeping in via Facebook. I don't even like Facebook that much anymore. I don't like Facebook that much anymore, but there are some cool guys on there who I'm friends with, like Dr. Tiasan Johnson and the Layman's Journal, among others. But Dr. Tiasan Johnson shared this a couple of weeks ago, and I saw it and I clutched my pearls because I couldn't believe what I was seeing. But that goes for a lot of things that you see on the Balloon Pop show. So let me cue this up right now. I'll play it, and then I'm going to get into what this clip made me think about, because it made me think about a lot of things. Okay, share screen. Okay, I'm sure most of you out there, you've seen this already. For those who are unfamiliar, this is a popular Black, I would call it a dating show, but it's probably more for entertainment. And I did ask Ron Wills, because Ron Wills mentioned it in some of his content when he came, I think at the beginning of this month, is this show real? Is this all staged, or is this real? And Ron was of the opinion that this is real. And I think it is to some degree reflective of reality, I think this is reflective of reality. Okay. AB Media, the political pundit of the Black Manosphere, is here. AB Media, thank you for coming through. I will put the sound on so we can watch this clip and unpack it just a little bit. And AB Media, if you have opinions on this, okay. See, AB Media said a humiliation minstrel show. Okay, let me turn the sound on. AB Media, thank you. You may be manning the chat tonight, even though I have a handful of people here. Oh, Tony's here. Okay, Tony, thank you for being here as well. Okay, so let me enable the sound so we can hear the sound and we can dig in. Okay, so there it is.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I am 39.
And Stephanie, what do you do?
I do casework for the state of Arizona.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
It's giving a little studious. Maybe you read books on vacation as opposed to maybe, it's just giving studious to me.
Like his outfit?
Mm-hmm. Just the whole vibe. I like the glasses. I actually really do, but it's definitely giving very book reader when I want to maybe turn up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's honest.
So I guess basically what you're saying is my outfit seems like I read a lot of books. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say your outfit, just the whole vibe gives a very like you're more into staying in, reading books.
I mean, you're an author.
Yeah, I'm an author. But
He's an author.
But-
It's giving author. It's giving author.
Your name and age.
Hi, I'm Stephanie. I am 39.
And Stephanie, what do you do?
I do casework for the state of Arizona.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
It's giving a little studious. Maybe you read books on vacation as opposed to maybe, it's just giving studious to me.
Like his outfit?
Mm-hmm. Just the whole vibe. I like the glasses. I actually really do, but it's definitely giving very book reader when I want to maybe turn up a little bit. Yeah.
okay.
That's honest.
So I guess basically what you're saying is my outfit seems like I read a lot of books. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say your outfit, just the whole vibe gives a very like you're more into staying in, reading books.
I mean, you're an author.
Yeah, I'm an author. But
He's an author.
But-
It's giving author. It's giving author.
Your name.
All right. Hey, so guys, that all these Instagram alerts are coming in. So guys, that touched me. I wish these Instagram alerts would stop coming in. That touched me in a certain way. That touched me in a certain place. What did you guys think about that? So that was a she said a social worker, if I recall correctly. So that means she has white collar education. So she's a white collar, quote unquote, professional, but she didn't seem too enthusiastic about a gentleman who is studious, who is an author, who writes, who thinks. And yeah, so now I will say this about that guy. First of all, I would never go on something like that unless I was paid ahead of time. Okay. But looking at it, as you guys know, I did work with the late Kevin Samuels a little bit, and I wouldn't have. Your formal wear is supposed to fit like a suit. It's supposed to be fitted to your body. So his slacks were a little baggy for my tastes, and he had the cuffs at the bottom and pleats. When I worked with Kevin for that brief amount of time, Kevin said pleats are out. So I did look at that. I liked the vest, the button-down shirt, the glasses, the studious look. I liked that, but I would have cleaned up the. Look at me sounding like medium man. I would have cleaned up the slacks and the pants myself. That's me. But what did you guys think about that? Because that hit me in a certain way. And Sal is here. Sal was in my science stream yesterday, and we were talking about different aspects of something called Chesterton's fence. I'm not going to get into that right now, but one of the things that me and Sal talked about towards the end was that when you are single, and maybe some of you guys have experienced this yourself, one of the questions that rates high at the top is not your spending patterns. Are you responsible with your money? Is your credit score? Well, some ladies will ask about your credit score. Okay. Are you able to keep a job? What are you working towards? What are you building? What's important to you? Do you want to start a business? Whatever. One of the things that rates high at the top is how much fun do you have? What do you like to do for fun? What is fun for you? Okay, so me and Sal talked about that yesterday, and that one question, it oozed out of that clip because she was looking at him and thinking, okay, he doesn't like to have fun. He's the type of guy who will want to, on a vacation, read a book and sit on the beach and read a book, or sit by the pool and read a book while I want to turn up. Okay, what I would say is to each his own. Okay, but that has absolutely nothing to do with how much of a provider that guy was. That had nothing to do with how stable that guy was. That had nothing to do with how much of a producer that guy was, which on the grand scheme of things is arguably more important long term. But what's important is short-term fun and short-term attraction. Now, I won't begrudge anyone for wanting to be attracted to someone else. Attraction is important. That's very important. But the fact that you lose points for reading and being studious and being scholarly and even for being an author, that hit me in a certain place. So that made me think about a couple of things. That hit me in a certain place. That made me think about a couple of things. So since me and Sal yesterday in my science stream, we were talking about the principle of fun and what's fun. And one of the first questions you get asked is what do you like to do for fun? How much fun do you want to have? That made me think about this clip I'm going to play here from Curtis Schoon. And I used it in the intro. Some of you guys weren't here, but that made me think about this particular snippet that me and Curtis Schoon talked about. And he's a writer and an author himself. He has his own platform and he writes articles on his platform. Okay, Chaos Rain is here. T Riddler. Okay, what are you guys saying in the comments? T Riddler says, when it comes to the Black community, it further confirms that even the working class to the professional class of BWs may want a Pookie for her life outside of work. Yeah, that's the interesting thing. So, as I said in the stream yesterday, me and Sal were talking about this. When we're talking about these things, I mean, a lot of people think that the content on the internet, the men's channels, dating shows like this, they're cringe, they're toxic, they're not reflective of reality. But at the end of the day, at the bottom of it, we're talking about biology. We're talking about mate selection, who selects whom for what reason, and we're talking about mate selection. So we're talking about biology here. We're also talking about some social behavior, but social behavior, we're social creatures, we're a social species. Part of that is that's a part of biology. Okay, and now you're talking about whose genes are going forward into the future, and you're talking about who select versus non-select. You're talking about what your tribe is. Shout out to Uncle Ram. And as an educated Black man, you have to figure out what your tribe is. That's why all of this stuff matters. Some people think, okay, you guys are wasting time online. You guys, shouldn't be listening to this person over here. You shouldn't be listening to this person over here. But yeah, you are. There are different caveats and nuances to becoming educated as a Black person in this country. The other thing is, I think the assumption is that you should be able to, particularly in a city like the DMV, with all of these educated people around, with all of these educated ladies around, okay, you should be able to just link up and meet up very, very easily. Okay, that's not always the case. Okay, because at the end of the day, it comes down to, in many instances, attraction. And then also within that first conversation, does your life sound fun? Is your life fun? Are you fun? Are you a good time? Does it have anything to do with your retirement savings being fully funded? Doesn't have anything to do with you having a high credit score, or you having an emergency fund, or being careful with your money, or starting a business, or having a vision for your life. How much fun are you? Okay. Then that gets to priorities. But this clip from Curtis Scone, this is one of the, that thing made me think about this clip from Curtis Scone. Let me play it right here, you guys. This is a short one, but me and Curtis talked about this.
So yeah, we have to take what we do seriously, whether it be politics, work, media, everything. You know, one thing I noticed as an employer, because in my mental health business, and by the way, I'm opening a mental health business in Detroit. Well, technically in Grosse Pointe, right? But it's on the line with Detroit. And one thing I learned about hiring people, and most of my employees are Black, right? That we will rush to finish things that are important so we can do things that are not. And I believe it's an immaturity there. People just don't understand that, you know, life isn't about having fun all the time. You have to have fun sometimes, I agree. But as an adult, there's time where you have to just say, okay, listen, I got to get down to work right now. And I don't think enough of us value that time or really understand the fruits of that labor. Somehow we think things are just going to be without that kind of effort. And culturally, there's a deficiency there. That's why I always say that there's no political solution for cultural deficiencies.
There are no political solutions for cultural deficiencies. Okay, so he said that was a powerful discussion. I can't wait to talk to him again. There are a lot of deficiencies in our culture, and there are no political solutions for those deficiencies. Okay, so how do those deficiencies manifest? Well, that balloon pop clip, that's a manifestation of some of the deficiencies in our culture. Okay, so then now you can bring in, and I'm going to get to this. Now you can bring in Ray Alexander asked me to do a stream on Patrick Bet-David's video about why Indian families are so successful. Part of their secret, at least here in the United States, is their marital rates. Okay, and right now, Indian individuals and Chinese individuals, they're whipping everybody in terms of household median income and household wealth. Sal, feel free to chime in the chat there. That balloon pop clip also made me think about this George Fraser clip. All right, George, let it rip.
This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American Black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three. And there's a reason for it. So who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians. $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two? Chinese Asians. Household median income, $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income, $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%. Down significantly. Number 4 are Hispanics. Household median income, $61,000 a year. Marriage rate, close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income, $55,000 a year. Marriage rate, 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. We must, this is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Oh.
So he said the number one problem in our culture, not Donald Trump, not JD Vance, not Elon Musk, not not any of that. It's the marital rates, and that is why East Indians and individuals from China, that's why they're winning in those stats there. Let me see. Guys, I'm going to let George rip one more time. Then I'm going to show some stats here because I'm pulling a bunch of things together.
71% of our sisters are not married. 29% will never get married. 63% of our brothers are not married. 30% of them will never get married. There is no culture in the history of humankind that has risen to maximize their full human potential without family at the center of their culture. This only exists. This is an interesting but negative statistic. This phenomenon of the existential crisis of our family only exists among African American Black people. It does not exist on the continent or anywhere else in the diaspora. So there must be something in the water. We must fix this. It is a lot easier said than done because it is impacting our wealth. Quick statistics. For 350 years, household median income was dominated by white people. They were number one in this country. They no longer are number one, they're number three, and there's a reason for it. So who has the highest household median wealth in America? It's East Indians, $104,000 a year. What's the marriage rate in the East Indian culture? 94%. Two are working. Who's number two? Chinese Asians. Household median income, $110,000 a year. Marriage rate close to 70%. Number three are white people. Household median income, $88,000 a year. What's the marriage rate? Almost 50%. Down significantly. Number four are Hispanics. Household median income, $61,000 a year. Marriage rate, close to 70%. We are at the bottom. Household median income, $55,000 a year. Marriage rate, 34%. And projected based on facts and statistics that if we do not fix this, because white folks ain't fixing this, our marriage rate will be in the low teens in the next 20 years. We must, this is an enormous challenge. That's a whole talk by itself on how do we fix it. It can be fixed, but we have to, first of all, understand that this is a problem. No one's talking about this problem. This is a huge problem. It's the number one problem in our culture. So we must fix it.
Oh.
Okay, so the number one problem in our culture, not Donald Trump, not Elon Musk, not Pete Hegseth or JD Vance or any of those things. That's the number one problem. Gigami, thank you for the $5 super sticker, much appreciated. If anyone else wants to throw something in the collection plate, the super chat is live. My Cash App and PayPal are here. And you can leave a super thanks if you're watching on the playback. It's up to you guys. I'm going to be on for just a little bit longer. So cultural deficiencies. So with what that lady said on the balloon pop show, and that's not an isolated thing. Talking white, being studious, okay, not sounding like you have swag, not sounding like you're able to turn up. That is a prevalent thing in Black America in the United States. I don't know if that happens in the UK. I don't know if this happens in Africa. I don't know if this happens in South America, but that's a prevalent dynamic here. And the other thing is, those gentlemen like that, guys who are reading, guys who are studious, those would be your Elon Musks. Those guys would be your Robert F. Smiths. Those guys would be the ones to start the Vista Equity Partners, and those would be your Reginald Lewises. Those would be your Thurgood Marshalls. So what happens when those guys are, those guys are unaccepted. They're unaccepted. They're not accepted, and they have to go elsewhere, or else, they just don't further their bloodlines. I mean, what happens to a community, to a group of people, when your best and your brightest are ostracized like that, and they're told that, hey, thanks but no thanks, because you're giving off author vibes, because you seem like the kind of guy who reads. That's a prevalent dynamic in the United States, and that's just like Jim Crow, just like civil rights, just like breakdancing, just like R&B and hip hop music. That's part of the Black experience in the United States. And I was going to say something else, and I kind of forgot what it was. That's a part. Oh, Charles Barkley and Russell Wilson. Years ago, when I was writing, okay, and that will put me in the same boat with that gentleman. I wrote a couple years ago, before COVID, there was that controversy about Russell Wilson talking white, and Charles Barkley saying the Black community has a deep. That's one of our deep, dirty secrets, is that you get accused of talking white if you come across like Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, depending upon who you're talking to, he's a lame, or he's married to Sierra, whatever. But that essay, when I was writing for the Examiner, got a lot of traction, and it got a lot of comments, because you have people who are like that, who are studious and who read and who talk white, and then you have the other people who say, well, yeah, you do talk white. You aren't authentically Black. You're not one of us. You don't have enough swagger. So that is a real thing. Okay, this is a cultural deficiency. This is a part of our culture here in this country. This is part of our story. Now, the other thing this balloon pop fiasco, this most recent one, made me think about was this. Sal, if there are updated numbers out there, let me know. These are from, the numbers are probably posted for 2023 and 2024. These are from 2022, but this drives home what these numbers were like a couple of years ago. Okay, so this is, and I did a stream on this last January. This is from 2023, so this is 2 years behind. I'll probably look up the 2024 numbers if they're posted to see what these are. But right here, this is what George Fraser talked about. In 2023, the median income varied considerably by race and ethnicity. So you have 2022 and 2023 here. In first place, Asians. So you can break those out to East Indians and China men and women. Okay, so they're at the top. In 2022, the number was $83,490. In 2023, the number was $81,020 for white non-Hispanics. Okay, here they're in second place. From what George Fraser described, they're in third place because they broke out the Asians to Indians and Chinamen. Okay, so for white non-Hispanics, let me be PC here. In 2022 was $67,720. In 2023 was $69,070. Okay, here I consider these neck and neck. Black people in the United States in 2022, the median household income was $52,720. And then in 2023, it was $51,960. And for Hispanics, any race, the number in 2022 was $47,220 and $46,880 in 2023. So one of the things I thought about when I looked at these numbers was, for Black people, is that number an artifact of people living by themselves in single parent homes? And from what George Fraser just said, that is in fact an artifact of having more people living alone in more single parent homes. Okay. So, I mean, obviously, if you add those numbers together, if you add for the Hispanics, if you add 46,000, if you double that, that's 90,000. So you're right there with the Asians. And the same thing is for the Black people. So how do you account for that? Well, what are you seeing right there in the balloon pop show? You're seeing part of that as people. And I think some of these things, once they start, they keep going. Okay. I think children who come from married families, I think they have a better chance of creating married families of their own. But children who come from divorce and no marriage at all, they didn't see that growing up. So you're very likely to repeat what you've seen growing up. Sal, thank you for that link. I'm gonna see if I can bring that up for us so we can look at that. So that made me think about this. Cultural deficiencies. Politics won't fix that. And what does it say when some of your best and your brightest, you know, they're not exciting because they read and they write and they read books on vacation. Okay, so Sal shared the United States Census Bureau. Let me see if I can find the breakout of median household income for race. So this is essentially the same data set that so figure one is 2022 to 2023. That's showing, actually, no, this is showing higher numbers for Asians. So let me pull this up here. Sal, thank you for sharing this. Let me close that. I'm going to wrap this up soon, guys, because I'm going to end up eating too late, and I have articles. I'm a writer too, so I read and I write as well. So according to this chart Sal shared, okay, if you look at that, so the median of all households is 80,610 for white Americans. Okay, this says figure one, median household income and percent change by race and Hispanic origin, 2022 to 2023. So all households is $80,610. For white Americans, it's $84,630. For white non-Hispanics, okay, so that means white, I guess that also includes folks from Argentina and Mexico, or because a lot of Mexicans, from what I hear, they pass for white as well. Cubans, some of them pass for white. All right. So white non-Hispanics, $89,050. Black, $56,450. $490. Asian, once again, in first place, $112, $112,800. Okay. And then Hispanic, any race. Here, Hispanics are ahead of Black people, $65,540. Okay. Does any of this, I'm looking at those bar charts there, percent change. So the all households, that increased by 4%. For white non-Hispanics, for whites and white non-Hispanics, that number increased 5.4 and 5.7%. And then for Asians, it looks like it went down by 0.2%, so it's about the same. And for Blacks, it increased 2.8%. And for Hispanics, any race, it increased 0.4%. So that stayed about the same. So, again, how do you account for these numbers? Well, there's some form of cultural deficiency there. Can't be fixed by politics. And it probably has something to do with what we saw in Arlette Amuli's show there. So I'm going to show one more thing. We'll look at the clip one more time. And let's see, 41 minutes. Sal, I might let you come up and give the benediction if you want to. Shout out to Mr. Z, the benediction. Let me go back to my blog because I'm a writer and an author myself. So I'm probably not cool in that regard. This was my first ever essay. This was the first ever essay that I wrote for the Examiner. And I called it, and I need to update that title for capitalization. The benefits and the challenges of using articulate speech. So there's a story behind Big Words. My first blog is called the Big Words blog site. My second blog is called Big Words Authors. My LLC is called the Big Words LLC. And that's why all my channels are called Big Discussions, this, and this. It's an offshoot of that name. Well, as a youngster, for me, this started early. Okay. Some of the kids in my elementary school, some of the Black kids, the Black girls in particular, asked me, why do you use those quote unquote big words all of the time? So when you have a vocabulary, when you read, when you're studious, that makes you stand out. And the kids who don't, okay, they look at you like, okay, why are you talking like that? Why are you comporting yourself like that? Shout out to Black Uru. Okay, now you think, and parents who put books in the house and who read to their kids, they think they're doing the right thing, but those kids have to go out and navigate their surroundings as kids, but also as adults. So it doesn't stop. That gentleman in the video there, the balloon pop video, he was in his 40s. So you're still dealing with this even when you become an adult. Your Blackness, the amount of fun you like to have, your level of swagger, all of that's being quantified and determined out on the sexual marketplace when you get older. And even some of your relatives, they look at you, they're listening to how you talk, they're listening to how you speak, and they're forming opinions. Everybody's forming opinions based upon how you talk and articulate yourself. But that's a hell of a cultural deficiency when those positive things are looked at negatively and with a negative stigma. Okay, particularly when it comes to pairing off. And I think regarding what George Fraser said, this is a part of what's happening. And this is the big issue. It's not Donald Trump. It's not Elon Musk. if your best and your brightest, are not respected in your community, if your business owners, your writers, your thought leaders, well, I think if you fall under a certain camp and under a certain umbrella, you'll be more accepted. And I think, Sal, you still out there? I'll hang on for 5 more minutes if you want to come and give the benediction. This is one of the Black community's dirty, dark secrets. Shout out to Sir Charles Wade Barkley. People don't like to think. They don't like to acknowledge that, sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot as a group and as a race, but this is shooting ourselves in the foot. Oh, it gets better. Layman's Journal. Okay, Sal, give me a second. Layman's Journal. I told you, even though I kind of don't like Facebook as much now, I'm still on it because I'm an author, and it's valuable to stay connected with certain people and to reconnect with people as an entrepreneur. That's important because you're trying to sell whatever it is you're trying to sell. For me, that's books. But Layman's Journal shared this recently. So the Balloon Pop show, guys, it's not going anywhere. It looks like it's only growing in popularity. Okay. And surprise, surprise, Yvonne Orji from Insecure, and I think Yvonne Orji is an attractive woman. I guess her run of Hertz commercials with Tom Brady might be coming to an end. I'm just waiting for my screen share here. Yeah, so it looks like the Balloon Pop show is going to Netflix. There's the lovely Yvonne Orji right there. And this is entitled Pop the Balloon Live. Yvonne Orji brings love to Netflix. So it looks like it got big enough to the point where, now I didn't read this piece, but she's in the picture on the thumbnail. She was in the picture with Arlette and her husband, I think, who also runs it. But this isn't going anywhere. Sal, the link is there. If you want to come and give the benediction. I love it when Mr. Z says that. If you want to come and give the benediction for a few minutes, you can come and give the benediction. But it looks like we're going to see more of this. But I think the good of the show is that it shows some of the quote unquote cultural deficiencies that Curtis Scone discussed when he was here on my platform a month or so ago. And as he said, you can't fix those with politics if they're cultural. I'm going to cue the clip up one more time. Sal is here to give the benediction, but I'm going to show it really, really quickly one more time, number 2. So give me a second, bear with me. And Uncle Ron was of the opinion that this is not fake. So I will enable the sound.
Me.
Like his outfit?
Mm-hmm. Just the whole vibe. I like the glasses. I actually really do, but it's definitely giving very book reader when I want to maybe turn up a little bit. Yeah.
Okay.
That's honest.
So I guess basically what you're saying is my outfit seems like I read a lot of books. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say your outfit, just the whole vibe gives a very like you're more into staying in, reading books.
I mean, you're an author.
Yeah, I'm an author. But
He's an author.
But-
It's giving author. It's giving author.
Your name and age.
I am Stephanie. I am 39.
And Stephanie, what do you do?
I do casework for the state of Arizona.
And why did you end up popping your balloon?
It's giving a little studious. Maybe you read books on vacation as opposed to maybe, it's just giving studious
Okay.
to me.
Like his outfit?
Mm-hmm. Just the whole vibe. I like the glasses. I actually really do, but it's definitely giving very book reader when I want to maybe turn up a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
that's honest.
So I guess basically what you're saying is my outfit seems like I read a lot of books. Is that what you're saying?
I wouldn't say your outfit, just the whole vibe gives a very like you're more into staying in, reading books.
I mean, you're an author.
Yeah, I'm an author. But
He's an author.
But-
It's giving author. It's giving author.
Your name.
All right. Sal, you want to give the benediction?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, it's
I like the way they did the explosion sound.
it's expected. I mean, at least she wasn't, in my opinion, she wasn't what's a typical. I mean, I haven't watched a whole episode. I've only seen a few clips if BGS or Ram has put it up. But typically, from what I've seen, is there would be disrespectful in the response. So that wasn't a disrespectful response. so it wasn't bad. But at the end of the day, man, you obviously can't negotiate desire, and that's fine. But in this case, the guy's issue, one, he went up there, but two, aside from that, too, he was like, why are you trying to understand what she's saying? Why do you care? She's not interested. Just, okay, gotcha, and move on to the next. And a lot of guys don't seem to understand that. A lot of guys like to waste their time justifying their position. Why are you justifying your position as a man? You struggle, you're out here battling every single day, especially a black man, and you're sitting here trying to, convince a woman, especially a black woman, to be interested in you. It's an absolute waste of time. I mean, in my opinion, she's either what they consider feeling you, or she isn't, and it's fine as long as she isn't, being disrespectful or being all up in your face. It doesn't matter. If she's not on your, she's not interested. One, and then two, the next level, in my opinion, is if she's not on your program, you really don't have any business interacting with the woman. You just what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
We have the lowest, life expectancy in this country. The average is, 4,000. It's 76. It's like 76 years, but I like to use months. I mean weeks. So that's 4,000 weeks. Not for black men, though. So why are you wasting your time with these women? I mean, aside from, you being indoctrinated to feel that you have to be with them. The internet's been around long enough. Even prior to Kevin Samuels, the stuff was public. Now, post Kevin Samuels, I think it's pretty, at this point, it's in your face, man. As far as I'm concerned. I mean, what do you think? Because, I mean, that's what I think. My thing is, I'm if you don't feel me, that's cool. I'm not wasting my time. I'm quite literally not going to waste my time. Like, okay, cool. Like, conversation's over, whether it's a phone call, whether it's in person. I'm really about my time. I can make more money. I can never get my time back. And in my opinion, as a man, if you don't respect yourself and respect your time, that's already a problem. You really shouldn't even be dating, in my opinion. Because a woman is going to, not all women, but many women, they will exploit that. So that's already a problem right there. So in that sense, I guess, many men or even black men may need to, do self-evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, yes, a woman chooses, that's fine. But you are the one who's allowing her into your life at the end of the day. And then remember, there's the laws also. So, you know, why is this? Why are you interacting with this woman? Like, what? How does she fit into your life, your plan? Because if she doesn't, she has no place there. It's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. You want to have a family? Is this the type of woman you want to breed with? What's her background? If all you want to do is just have fun, okay, fine, have fun. Be extremely responsible about it, which clearly many people aren't, especially in the Black community. They definitely are. Be responsible about it and don't lie. I mean, as a man, in my opinion, if you have to lie to a woman, you're afraid of her. In my opinion, that's a weak position. You should not be afraid of losing a woman. That doesn't mean you don't. That doesn't mean you're being disrespectful. It's just, this is my position. You just be respectful about your position. I don't think this dating stuff is hard, man. This is my position. Depending on how long y'all been interacting, this is where I'm going. And her actions are always going to tell you where she is. Whatever she got going on, it's not on your plan. It's not your problem. Don't make her your problem. That's the problem with a lot of these guys. They're making these women who are, for whatever reason, not compatible with them, their problem. They have all the freedoms right now. So I really don't, in my opinion, I don't want to hear anything. All the issues you have has nothing to do with me. What does it have to do with me? Nothing. You just met me. Or you know me for this long. Everything prior to that, depending on what it was, that's on you. You may or may not have had plenty of time to solve those issues. If you didn't solve it, then that's on you. Again, you, not me. If you're out here supposedly wanting to be in a, as I say, in a relationship, are these women who say these things or go on these shows, what kind of relationship material are you? If you are really that, because as we all know, we're men, we go after the women. So if these women are going on these shows, what quality of women are you? Because most of these women are going to be picked up, especially by 30. Or, I mean, depending on if they want to be picked up, they will be picked up by 30. If not, for whatever reason, that's on them. It's not you, in my opinion. So I don't know. To me, this dating stuff, it's just not hard, man. Like I don't even get upset. Like I just don't waste my time. It's like, depending on who's around, sometimes it's just comical. I mean, I've had some Black women, and I'm not even checking for them, even out here in certain situations, because I do wear suits, and this is all before Kevin. All that Kevin Samuel stuff, man. I knew 90% of that stuff before I was 10 years old, man. That stuff was not new for me. So being out here, you seem like some of them, and these are always women I had no interest in, was not physically attracted to them whatsoever. If I was to show you the pictures of the women I've been with, I've allowed into my life, compared to them, it's like, come on. But it's always, not always, but they would say, "Oh, it seems like you only date white women." Sometimes I would laugh, and sometimes I would say I've never dated a white woman, and then I just walk off. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's it's entertainment to me.
Yeah, I got that years ago when I think maybe within 5 years of living here, I got that at a happy hour, and I never heard something like that before. I didn't know what to think about that. I was like, what?
Yeah, you're not the typical. You're not the typical Black man. You speak the King's English well. Okay, which again, that's one of those things that's not well respected, generally speaking, within the supposed culture. So that's one thing. Two, you don't have, especially if you don't have this in your face edge, which is hilarious to me, because throughout history, the guys who were really running stuff, the real leaders, the real quote unquote killers and all sort of stuff, they weren't loud. Those guys weren't the loud ones. Like that was the norm. It's like clearly everything unfortunately in the black community is like backwards. It's just like upside down.
Yeah.
If you really are that, you don't need to announce it. Like you know. But for whatever reason, we, in this culture, you gotta be. I mean, this is just shuck and jive and kind of I gotta show all the time. Like, dude, like I'm not here to entertain you, man. I don't know you.
Let me answer this, Clark S. So I was being facetious. So I think what I did was I did this. It touched me. It touched me. It resonated with me. And so when someone does this, Denzel Washington, I think it was in Fallen, he did this thing like, it was a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Sal, okay, yeah, we're at an hour. Thank you for it's good to know that you heard that as well.
Yeah.
You had those assumptions made about you, so it's that's what goes on.
Hey, man. I mean, I appreciate you having me up, but last thing I'll say, my favorite is, because I know various cultures of women, and my favorite is, especially if a woman's an acquaintance or a legit friend and she's non-black, I love it when we're out and about. Like if we go out to eat and we're just chilling, and you see some black women's facial expressions, because I know a fair amount of physically attractive women. It's to me again, it's hilarious. Sometimes I would even make the comment. Sometimes I'll even say, you should come sit closer so we can cause.
Wow.
I'll do stuff like that, like just to to entertain. Like that's
stir the drink a little bit.
It's entertainment to me. It's like you guys are like, if you guys really are who they say they are, the best of the best, that shouldn't bother them, in my opinion. Because when I see a black woman with a white man or any other race, it doesn't bother me at all. I have a white uncle. My brother-in-law is white. Actually, I used to play basketball with my brother-in-law. He's a damn good baller. Yeah, he meets he's over 6 feet. He's 6'1". Mm-hmm. But I mean, that's how I see things. If you really are that, you don't need to say much, or you won't get in your feelings. That's how I see it. So all this loud talk just tells me where people really are, the level of self-esteem and the projecting and the bravado. That's what it's telling me. Okay, if they want to waste their life, that's their business, especially the women. They don't have as much time as we do. So, hey, good luck. Keep your job, make your money, and good luck. I've told some women, good luck. I don't break stuff down to them. I just say, good luck. I hope that's working out. One, I typically say, how's that working out for you? Or I say, I hope that works out for you. And I really mean it. Statistically, unlikely, but you never know.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and get out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
You as well.
All right, guys. I'm going to play the Curtis Goon clip one more time because I think that'll be a good way to end this out. So, having fun and cultural deficiencies. The expectation of having fun all the time and cultural deficiencies. And by the way, Curtis, he has his own platform, and he does his own live stream on his platform on Tuesday nights, and he covers a lot of stuff: geopolitics, politics here in the country, economics. He covers a lot of things. Anyway, this is us talking about this particular thing in a different way, in a different context.
So we have to take what we do seriously, whether it be politics, work, media, everything. One thing I noticed as an employer, because in my mental health business, and by the way, I'm opening a mental health business in Detroit. Well, technically in Grosse Pointe, right? But it's on the line with Detroit. And one thing I learned about hiring people, and most of my employees are Black, right? That we will rush to finish things that are important so we can do things that are not. And I believe it's an immaturity there. People just don't understand that, life isn't about having fun all the time. You have to have fun sometimes, I agree. But as an adult, there's time where you have to just say, okay, listen, I got to get down to work right now. And I don't think enough of us value that time or really understand the fruits of that labor. Somehow we think things are just going to be without that kind of effort. And culturally, there's a deficiency there. That's why I always say that there's no political solution for cultural deficiencies.
There's no political solution for cultural deficiencies. That was Curtis Schoon from Schoon TV. The truth may be offensive, but it is never a sin. Hey, speaking of authors and writers, I am a self-published author, a newly self-published author. This is my book, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story, Part 1, Innocent Basketball Dreams. It's a story about the great game of basketball, but it's also a story about making your way in the world, learning how to navigate the world and persevere, in some instances without all the tools that you need. This is very much a growing up journey, a manhood journey, and it's something that may be needed right now more than ever, especially in a community like ours. This is available on Amazon and on Ingram Spark right now. The paperback is available on Ingram Spark. On Amazon, the ebook, the hardcover, and the paperback are available. If you want a signed copy, I am selling those here from out of my condominium unit at a discounted price on Amazon. The hardcover is going for $35 here. For me, it's going for $25. That's a signed copy. The paperback is going for $27 on Amazon. And for me, I'm selling them for $22. Those are signed. The shipping is built into those prices. You can send your payment here if you're interested to one of these forms in the ticker. Make sure you send me your mailing address as well. That's the only caveat. And if you're not using your real name, let me know who you want it addressed to. Okay. I don't know if that was clear, but when you sign a book, you usually sign it to someone. And if you want it signed to your alias, I'll sign it to your alias. If you want it signed to your government name, you can email me. Let me know what your government name is if you want to. Anyway, let me get out of here. I'm already going to be eating late, and I have to get up early as well. So thank you to everyone who came and hung out. We are, 1/4 of the way through 2025. Tomorrow it will be April. So I will talk to you next time. Dr. Tiasan Johnson agreed to come and hang out with me in 2 weeks. So look out for that. So with that, everyone, please like, share, and subscribe. If you want to leave a super thanks, thank you, Giagami, for the super chat. If you want to leave a super thanks, if you're watching this on the playback, hey, I won't be mad at you. And with that, everyone, as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Always try to do your best. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Let me know if you have any comments or thoughts in the comments section below. Take care, and I will talk to you all the next time. Bye-bye.